once upon a time, when the miners went down into the mine, they used to carry a canary with them. The purpose of the canary was to let the miners know when there was some toxic gas that would threaten their livelihood. I still think we need these canaries for our coal mines or the communities that we live in. We need those naysayers. We need the young boy on the side of the street to say the emperor has no clothes. So I think cultural studies fulfills that very important role in Australian society.
The reason why we should do cultural studies today is because it's a completely insignificant enterprise in the age when culture has become a business. So as a sidelined endeavour, it becomes a site of play, dialogue, and a point at which we can exercise our creative freedoms.
The importance of cultural studies is in its focus on phenomena that we all find challenging and interesting and critical. So by studying it, we get closer to what makes our culture tick and change.
Humanities, first of all, as opposed to some of the more empirical disciplines, where you learn to think in black and white. Things are very concrete, and what humanities does is allows us to explore subjects and see them in grayscale. And I think that's really important. But if you persist with humanities and you keep looking at the subjects that they deal with, eventually you'll start seeing in colour.
I love cultural studies because it gives an opportunity for the personal to become political. That's it.
Cultural studies to me means, I think, coming up with a language and a mode of inquiry for asking questions about the stuff that surrounds us every day. I think there are a whole range of scientific methodologies which are designed to ask very specific questions about actuality and about material things and about these whole histories of biology and whatever, paleontology. These very discrete, quite distinct modes of questioning. Cultural studies to me is about a language which allows you to ask about the stuff of the everyday, the stuff that that is invisible because you're in it all the time. So it is culture and language and discourse and power and materiality and the plethora of images and sounds that the corporate world kind of foist upon us, and the strategies that we all have as producer consumers to kind of ameliorate some of that noise and some of that information. Cultural studies are tools to talk back to those powers and those rhetorics and discourses that suffuse everything we do.
Universities are absolutely relevant. The benefit and the singular genius of university study is in how it challenges us to think differently and creatively and critically. University doesn't teach us what to do, that's what jobs are for, but it challenges us to think differently, and they're lifelong skills that no one can take away from you wherever you end up in industry or in practice or in further research. So definitely university study is still relevant.
I think that university study is really valuable because I think it sort of teaches people to be, critical thinkers as well, which is sort of part of what cultural studies does as well. And I teach in sort of the media area, so sort of being, critical thinkers as well as also being sort of practitioners. It helps us to create better products for one thing, and it also helps us to learn something more about ourselves as well, so that we can, also be, a part of that creating as well.
University study has a lot of relevance, I think, because students are now the future of any country. I think for me, having been a student myself and now a practitioner Without university, I wouldn't have been able to match my theory with my practice as much as I wanted to. So I think there is a lot of relevance for universities as well for being a leveraging point in informing how we want to change the ways we work in today's society.